Okay, I want to stop the recording for now. Hi Kathy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, how do I turn off the record, pause, stop recording?
Perfect. Look at that.
Look at that. Okay, so welcome to the Personnel Board meeting, and maybe April will join us when she can. I don't know if Gabe can make it tonight or not, so.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, so there are a couple things on the agenda that I just had a question about and want Melissa. Maybe you could help me with this, or anybody.
Certainly.
Okay, the COLA.
Yep.
Now, we talked about the COLA and George gave us all that information. Do we need to we can just recommend what we think, or is that just information for us?
So, well, we can do it one of two ways. So if you want to make it official, you always can take a vote to make something official. The vote might be that after, analyzing the method, the COLA calculation came out to be X percent, and we'd like to recommend that to the FinCom and the Select Board, something like that.
Okay. So we pretty much recommend to the FinCom and the Select Board. And we pretty much went over it. Does anybody, I mean, the review was the COLA was very close to last year's COLA, and it's 3.32%. I don't know if that's rounded off or not. Do you know, Melissa, is it rounded off to 3 point?
That sounds, usually we do the 2 decimals, so that's
okay.
Yep.
Okay, so do we want to make a recommendation? Shall we make a recommendation, folks?
I'll make the motion if you want.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to recommend to the Select Board and FinCom the COLA raise of 3.32 is what you said, Peg, right?
Right, 3.3.
After assessing and analyzing the COLA calculation, and yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. And all those in favor?
Well, I second that motion.
Yep, we have to have a second.
Thank you. Sassy seconds. All those in favor? Ross, aye.
Brigham, aye.
Salvador, aye.
Peace O'Neill, aye.
All right, done. Thank you very much. Now, moving on to the salary alignment study. George gave us all that information, which was great. And does anybody, do we bring that up for discussion again? Does anybody have anything they want to say about that? Any feelings about where we are on that? And are we ready to go forward with a motion?
I found it fine.
Okay.
Same.
So we talked, yeah, okay, so that's a second. So the salary alignment study, there were 5 positions that George brought up. And do we want to go with the average? Let's see, where is that? Where do I have that? The 5 positions were the accountant, assessor clerk, clerk, treasurer, custodian. And though we could bring those, we could talk, do we have a recommendation for bringing it up to the average, or the average without the high and low, or the median?
I'm trying to find the chart. I was going to share it. Give me a second.
Okay, great.
Hold on one moment.
We talked about this a little bit in the last FinCom meeting, and they're hoping that we can come back with the dollar impact once we know the hours for each of those positions, and we can apply the COLA and the adjustment. So they seemed open to the adjustments that we had been talking about, but just want, like we do, to see what the dollar impact is going to be.
Yeah, I have the document if it would help for me to share my screen, but Kathy, I don't know if it would at this point, because sounds like it's makes more sense to get the dollar impact, or do we want to decide whether we are interested in the median, the average, or the average without the high and low?
Well, maybe we could look at that again, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay.
I think Melissa's working on that, I think.
No,
So I have it,
you
but
got
I
it
have to,
faster than I did.
you have to, I request from you, Peg.
Yes.
You have
Oh,
to-
look at that.
Yeah,
You
you
gave
have to
me,
make that
yay,
proposal.
Peg.
Woohoo!
Look
He's
at
like,
that.
if
There
I
you
can
go.
have somebody else do something.
Along.
That's awesome.
You go, girl.
Okay.
All
You'll
right,
be
hold
running
on.
select board meetings soon, Peg.
Oh, yeah, right. Been there, done that.
Okay, is that big enough, or do you need me to make it bigger?
A little bit bigger for my eyes, please. One notch bigger. That's pretty good, though. Okay, that's great.
That's great.
See, that's what happens when I
Yeah.
go too big. I'm gonna lose.
Okay. Well, so, there are three averages. There's the average without the high and low, and the medium. And again, George had eliminated the towns that don't compare to us by population. He included those towns that have similar populations. And here, I'm going to get this there. That gives me a better screen. So I was looking at it and thinking, well, the average without the high and low is sort of a median.
Sometimes it's weird. There's no consistency.
No.
So if you look at the town accountant, for example, that's sort of in a median. Look at the median it's quite a bit different than the average.
Yeah, but
So
then look at assistant town clerk. Average without the high and low is the highest of the
Yeah.
three.
yeah. So I don't know. You're right. What about the next one? 26.
Sorry, Peg, what were the positions again? I'm sorry.
Okay, the account, though, George
The
has
purple ones.
asterisks. Well, look at
The
the
purple ones. Thanks, Kathy.
well, also look over where George has them listed.
Yeah.
There's asterisks.
Okay.
Um,
And with the exception of the admin assistant that was just hired, right?
Right.
yeah, the librarian assistant, there isn't much difference there. 29 to 1 going up to 21, but
Well, that wasn't one. It looked like if we use, is this what you're over here, Kathy? These highlights, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those are
yeah. There were five. There's six highlighted, but leave out admin assistant, and there's five.
okay.
and why are we leaving out admin assistant?
That was just hired and the rate is
Oh,
higher than the 22
okay.
one.
All right,
Right.
great.
I think it's actually 25 even, if I remember correctly.
Sorry, say that again, Melissa.
The
It's
admin assistant, I think, is 25 even
wow.
now.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
for
That's
super.
great.
Yeah.
I don't know I mean, Kathy, do you have a sense, being on the finance committee, what might, if we want to make a recommendation about using one of the three, what they would?
Yeah, no, before the meeting started, I was just telling Peg that I'm on the FinCom, but I am so not numbers oriented. I gave it 8 months and I've decided that it's not the right place for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not the right person to ask. I was hoping April would be on because she's very savvy when it comes to this stuff. I don't know what you guys have done in the past, or what the select board has used in the past. I like removing the high and low because those were, really out there when George showed us that screen.
Mhm.
And that's usually why we take those out, is because they can be outliers, significant
Right.
They were
outliers in
significant.
direction,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might want to kind of focus on the average without the high and low.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, that's kind of where we have focused. We always look at all numbers. And the ones that are in that purple color with the double digit negative differences are the ones that we're focusing on, right?
Right.
But not admin assistant anymore,
Right,
Melissa.
right, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm not gonna mess with
Yeah, no, that's fine.
taking that off.
So
Guys, do you remember? I can't remember myself. Did we talk about looking at including the custodian too? We were going to look at everything
We
that was
did.
above 5% negative.
We did.
We
Okay.
just didn't highlight it back then. So there were 6 positions. One, if we dropped admin and added custodian.
he usually just changes the color of the field, Ian.
I thought we talked about.
Melissa, I could pull it up, and that's the extent.
Yeah.
So I don't.
He usually
It's not that I don't believe
No.
you. It's that it's like you're speaking another language.
I understand. Hey, you found the Oxford E's. Let's find a little bit better. We all have different talents.
Everybody has their talents, right?
Right.
Yeah, I had custodian in my list, accountant,
Yep.
assessor clerk, town clerk, and custodian.
Yeah.
So the question would be, because we've done these realignments before, right? And we always say realignment, because I think when we present it to the public, realignment, it gives a, it sounds a little softer than, oh, we're adjusting their rates up. Like it sounds
Right.
more,
More proper.
like we've taken time to assess it. Like the word just kind of gives that, extra few steps of looking at it like we have here. So my guess, it would, the FinCom wants some sort of a dollar amount, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess here's a question, and I don't know what the discussions were at the last meeting. I wasn't here, but did you guys discuss on how much to bring them up? Like bring it up so there was 0 difference, or meet halfway, or 3/4 of the way? Did you guys have any discussion around that?
No, not that I recall. Are you talking about meet halfway between the current
The
salary?
differences, yeah, I'm looking at the column with the high-low, the average without the high-low, and then the highlighted ones that are here in the
Right.
double digits.
Right.
Yep.
No, I think well, what do you think, Ann and Kathy? I don't recall talking about
Okay.
going someplace in between. I think basically we're just looking at, wow, if we want to keep these positions and be able to keep hiring people in these
Well,
positions.
yeah.
when we-
Mhm.
Right.
Gotta
And
keep up.
it makes them more competitive.
Right.
People are more happy. So you likely won't have people moving on if you pay them. This is why we do it, because we find out these things and we want to keep people. So
I recall we talked about applying the COLA to those roles and then
Yeah.
making an adjustment
Yes.
and
Okay.
based on the number
Yeah.
of hours,
Yep.
looking at what that
Yep.
financial impact would be. And then I think at that point we could decide whether it's feasible to go all
Full or
in
not.
so that there's no difference, or meet halfway. Or
Yeah, Kathy, that sounds right. I now that you say that, I do remember we said, let's do the COLA first.
yeah.
And how do you feel about doing something in that first white column? I can walk you through it. So we can apply the COLA, and then in the next column over, we can see what the difference is again.
All right, or I could email this to you. What's your preference?
I can do it either way.
I mean, I mean, if I have Peg, you'll feel not alone, because I'll be just like you here with my.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, Melissa, do you know the number of hours that each of those roles works each week?
So the accountant, firefighters is well, we're not doing them. So the treasurer is about 15 hours.
Okay.
Town clerk is 20. Next one, custodian is 8. Assistant town clerk, I don't know, but if you hang on a second, that was a new one, so I can look up assistant town clerk job description and email. I would be more successful than I was with the other one today.
I'm gonna turn on the light. Hold on, a different light.
Sure.
Obnoxious, but I'm gonna put the color in.
Yeah.
Hours in red, because it be easier for us.
I'm gonna put in job.
So if we would make the recommendation, we could recommend, while you're doing this, Melissa.
Yeah, I'm just looking up the assistant town clerk job description. Give me 1 second.
Why don't you add those hours in a column and then you can do a formula and it'll zing right in there.
Yeah, you can do a formula.
Oh,
I am
we'll do
so
one in a second.
my Peg. It's like Peg's relationship to Zoom is my relationship to Excel. Like Zoom, I'm fine,
Well,
but
I want you to know, Zoom worked pretty well for me today.
well, I'm doing a formula. I mean, that's
So I'm gonna
Kathy,
say I think it was 10 hours a week.
for assistant town clerk.
Yeah. We can adjust these after too. So
Yeah, just get a,
the other one is assessor's clerk. Oh, that's Leslie.
No. Yes, and the accountant.
The accountant. Accountant. She, I believe, is the 20. I believe she's at that mark. All the financial team seems to all be kind of in the 20 realm.
I mean, man, she is way under the average with high-low.
We had that issue the last time we realigned her as well. I think it's a job that has a lot of adjustment ability, in that it you negotiate the salary in that realm, I think, in many cases. That's TA. That's a bylaw. I am not coming up with any job descriptions. I know they're in here. We'll put her at 20 because I think it is 20.
That's the accountant.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So for the ones that are in the purple, I'll turn my camera on so you guys can see me. Although you won't be able to see me.
Wait,
We need the assessor's clerk.
yeah, sisters.
Assessor's clerk.
Hours.
Yeah. I always spell assessor wrong. What is I just pulled up a draft of the budget that the select board had. We can figure it out based on the pay currently. Let's see. Assessor salary, admin, assessor clerk. Oops. 15,443. What is that amount?
The hours.
25.
You just computed that really quickly. All right.
Yeah, you
25.
take the full amount of their salary, divide it by their hourly rate, and then divide it by the amount of weeks in the year.
Oh, righty. Sounds good. Okay. So
now,
I mean, if there is, Kathy or Melissa, if you do want to do a formula, I can just take a minute and send this document, email this document to you too. If somebody else wants to share their screen.
If you whatever the group is comfortable with, I don't mind either way. It's fine.
I'm a
Yeah.
little rusty. I know it can be done, but I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, go ahead and email it to me,
Okay,
and I'll bring it up.
yeah, because if you can do it in there, that would be great.
So while you're doing that, Ann,
Mhm.
um, do we, once we decide what we feel about this, about the salary alignment study and recommendation. So, and we talked about putting the COLA in before we make the salary adjustment. We can pass that all on to the FinCom to do that? I'm assuming? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay,
Yep, they'll put it into the budget.
okay.
I'll put my email up.
I can watch and learn when Melissa does it.
I'm just a bystander at this point.
I'm not an Excel expert, but I did have to use it in my job, and it does amazing things automatically.
Yeah.
If you know the formulas,
Yeah.
you can, I mean, George is great at it. I'm sure Melissa uses it
Yeah,
regularly too.
he's really good at it. He's a little bit more advanced than I am. I have I learned how to write all the formulas.
Mm.
So I rarely do all the quick things, and I'm like, I really should learn how to do that stuff.
Yeah, I never used the quick keys. I never learned that. I always just wrote them out myself too.
Yeah, it's the only practical use of algebra in the world.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Who
they
thought
said
that?
you would never use algebra.
Oh, no, they were
Yep,
wrong.
you I'm sure you use it more than other things. Okay. So Peg, you're gonna want to make I got enable. You're gonna want to make me a co-host
Okay,
so that I can share my screen.
we're host
Okay.
tool.
Yeah, I can ask you. I'll ask you to make it easier.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I cannot see what you can see. Can you guys see that screen?
Yep.
Okay. Let me move this guy out of the way. I have two screens going, so I'll bring you guys back over here. So here is, so right here, to figure out the difference, the COLA, oops, he froze the panes. Okay. So here we're going to add our COLA, which was 3.32, right?
3.32.
Okay. So we're going to want our formula to equal this amount here, and we're going to multiply it by 0.0332 and hit enter, and it's a 97-cent increase on 29.
Oh.
Yeah. It's only 3%, remember?
No, sorry. No, I don't know. I was just like, oh, it's interesting. It wasn't really.
We can also do it this way if we want to see. So there's another way we could do it as well. You can take this same one and you can do equals. Of course, it's harder when people are watching. Equals this, and you can multiply it by 1. So it adds the full amount.
Oh.
0.0332. And you get what the dollar amount would be.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I like that one.
Yep.
It's actually nice to have both, but that's great.
Yeah, I'll get both up there.
I don't understand. Okay, so the B10 is the row and the column.
It's yes,
The
I'm
cell.
asking it to take the number
Cell.
in
Yes,
there,
thank you.
and I'm asking it to use that as the multiplier, or use that as the base. Yep.
Yep.
I don't see any B10. Where am I looking for that?
Watch the field when I type in the
Oh,
formula.
okay, okay.
So I want it to equal. I'm gonna click.
Oh.
I'm gonna click the cell that I want it to use the value. So this one here, that's going to be the B10. The computer doesn't see the number; it sees the location.
See, the letters go across the top and the numbers go down the left margin.
It's like the multiplication tables that everybody wrote out when they
Right.
were in school. You had all your
Right.
ones and ones here and there, and when you met in the middle. So that's what
Yeah.
these letters do. They meet in the middle.
I'm doing it. It's so exciting.
And you multiply that because you're asking it to multiply that number. And we
Oh,
want it to do the whole number and add the multiplication of the raise. And the whole number we get is 19.
that is so exciting. That's just so exciting.
Great.
Exciting?
So then you can just do one more, subtracting the column B from column M to get the impact and add them up, and that'll be what FinCom needs to hear.
Right.
Well, actually, I would think they would do this. I mean, will they just accept this, that from us, that this is what it is and?
They'll do, they're smart. What they'll do is they will definitely go back and make sure the calculations are correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to trust someone's math. You always want to check it again.
Trust but verify.
Yeah. But what's nice here is George or whoever's on there can click on the cell. And then if you look up here, you can see what the formula says.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
So if they like that formula,
Uh-huh.
if you double click it, it highlights the cells. Oops, hold on. If you double click, see how it highlighted this one here? It's telling
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
that field is being used. That cell.
Now, I have to tell you, I'm using a magnifying lens to see that little formula. Up.
Yeah, it's really tiny. I'm not sure why.
It's my eyes. Wow.
It is small.
It is. A lot of people just write it in the field, so they tend to
Mhm.
automatically make that top row header where they put the formula in lower, smaller. Let's see. And then we wanted to know what it was for the hours, right? The total. So
Right.
equal this.
Times
And we
20.
want the impact. So we don't want to, this is what the hourly rate would be, but they want to see how much it's going up.
But that's just the COLA, right? That's not even,
Kathy,
That's not even
you
the
mentioned
adjustment.
something, and
yeah,
I
it's not the
completely-
adjustment.
right. So
Yeah, if you add a column and have the formula be the average without the high and low minus the rate including COLA, that's the difference that we're debating. Because I don't think we're debating at all that they deserve a COLA. It's the,
right, it's
Right.
how much.
it's
Yeah.
the adjustment that we're talking about.
Ooh, that's nice.
So this.
I mean, not the, I mean,
yeah, it's actually in
gonna be a lot, but I mean, no, I mean, the formula's nice. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yep. So you're just telling it you want this to equal. We're gonna take what the high low. We're gonna subtract this number. Wow, that's 14 cents. Does that sound right?
That doesn't,
That didn't work. Hold on. This
No,
one.
You
it
can
didn't.
copy
Oh, wait,
that.
you did, I think you did admin for that one.
Oh, I might have. Oh, see, this is how you check. You double click. Oh, look, we grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah.
Now we can go and delete this one. D equals. See, everyone makes mistakes with this fun stuff.
And you don't even have to redo the formula. You can click on the cell that has 706.
Yep.
And copy that formula
Oh, yeah,
Right?
that's right. You could drag it down.
and
True.
drag it down to the other columns,
Drag
the
it.
other cells.
And then I can just copy.
This is so exciting. Kathy, you don't sound too rusty at all.
Well, I haven't used it in 4 years maybe,
Oh,
so
wow.
I know it can be done,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just rusty.
All right. So
And-
this is the so this is the COLA. This section we can call it. My mouse is stuck. This we can this is the this was the
only addition.
Yeah, that's the,
Shutesbury rate. Shoots rate plus COLA.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then this one is the difference. This is the difference in average H with. I'm trying to use his. I like full words, but I'll use his abbreviations. You should see my texting. I text in full words. All right.
Without high-low. Okay, that makes sense to me.
So this is how, oops,
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
that's all right, my mouse is stuck. So now this number is the difference to bring it up to the average high-low.
Right,
Every-
that's what you were calling the realignment, right, Melissa?
Yes. So that's the realignment to bring them up. Now we want to see how much that's going to be added to the budget, right? So the 20
Right.
hours, this is where we add the 20 hours to the thing. So we would do, we want it to equal this, because this is our biggest impact,
Mhm.
times, and this one is 20 hours. So it's 140 bucks, 141 bucks for 20 hours
So
a
that-
week,
A
right?
week.
So
Okay.
then we take this and we multiply it by 52. Oops, not 62.
You just
Feels
this
like
poor person.
62.
I know.
So it's adding 7,342 to the budget.
Wow,
Okay.
that seems like a lot.
I know this is gonna, well, that was the highest paid one too, Peg.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
these will look a little different. Let me just pop these guys in.
Well, they all are at, because the one that's only 10 hours and 8 hours, they probably won't be very much. right?
When we were talking with George, when he was with us, and maybe, I thought he said it would add about 2,000, so maybe that was the COLA.
Oh, we can't copy and paste these. You know why? Because they're all different number of hours and pay rates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, hold on. So then it's this times.
I know. I think that one you did first, Melissa, that's definitely going to be the worst one
Yeah, and there's always one that jumps out and you go, oh.
because it's the highest rate.
Yeah. So this, we're gonna, this times how many hours, dude? 20. Assessor clerk might be a little bit because it's 25.
No, it's, yeah, assessor clerk's 25 hours.
Wait a second. This one we're gonna change to 25. I got ahead of myself. And then it's this equals this one times 52. Equals. Escape button is always your friend. It'll always undo what you've done. 10.
No, this one won't be too bad, hopefully.
Yeah. Equals this.
Mm.
This one is 20. Oh, you said the custodian. We didn't go.
Yeah, we lost the custodian.
Yeah, we'll add him back in. Oh, that one was 20 hours, so this one works out. Oh. See, escape, if you do something like that, brings your formula back. And this one was 15. And that was 52. So the custodian, we will add equals is this times 1.0332. And then this. C B this times 8. This times 52. There we go.
3, 4, 5,
Week.
6. Why do I have 7? 1, 2, 3, 6.
Did I miss one?
No, that's why I'm just counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 6.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good.
4, 5, 6.
So that's under $20,000 for the year, I think. Just adding it up kind of
You can add it
quickly.
Mhm. This is where they have this auto sum one, which is great.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too. I do too.
I use this so much when at work when I was doing the requisition and I had to add huge numbers. I would enter them in an Excel file or an Excel just to have one open and use it as a calculator.
Mhm.
That's great, Melissa. So, can you send this? Can you send this to us,
Yep.
including April.
Yep.
And then, Kathy or April, could you present it to the finance committee?
Sure. I don't think April's on, but I'll be at the next meeting, so I will.
That would be great.
I might,
Mhm.
one thing I might do is I might just check on a couple of the number of hours before I send it to you guys. So
Okay,
I'll go do a little bit deeper dive into my email for their number of hours on their job description.
okay, much appreciated. So do we want to take a vote on this? Is this what we recommend, or what do you think? Do you, I feel very comfortable with this. I feel like feel like it has to happen in order to keep up with towns that are hiring, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I keep hearing that, it's a tough year all around and we're not quite sure what's going to be happening with federal funding and the games that are being played at that level.
I
I'm
know.
wondering if it might, I don't know if Melissa, whether any of these positions were at risk of losing people to other towns.
I don't believe we are at any of these.
So with that in mind, we might want to recommend that we get maybe halfway there this year with the promise of the
Ramp up.
other half the next year.
Ramp up.
So like
this-
a 50%.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it I mean, I would be more in favor of doing an across the board percentage rather than trying to earmark particular positions.
Yeah, just do it. It's easier just to say the 50%, or
Yeah.
however we want it, you know.
Hmm.
Does that work for everybody else?
So we're saying that we're recommending to the, Kathy will take this to the FinCom and suggest that maybe we'll do it 50% for the FY 26 and 50% for FY 27, although
Yeah.
you'll have to recalculate it by FY 27, maybe not.
You may
Yeah.
want the COLA might get you closer in, so
Right.
the COLA could even get you closer, although if you're doing it that way, it'll also get you further away, right? So, right. So
Well, we don't even have to say anything about next year. I guess we could say our recommendation is 50% of that number.
Yeah,
50%
50%
of
of
the
the
difference. Yeah.
of
Of
the
the-
difference,
Yes.
and then to be reassessed next year,
Yeah.
depending on the cost of living.
Right.
Perfect.
I like
You got
that.
it. You got it, Kathy.
All right.
Okay,
I got it.
are you ready with
Thanks,
that?
Kathy. Thanks, Melissa,
Sure.
for doing that.
Oh, you're
Thank-
welcome.
Yes, thanks,
Always
Melissa.
happy to convey information. Now you all can, like, I've used the Oxford comma thing a number of times.
I know. I'm
I
like,
work in construction, so they all look confused. I'm like, oh, it's the
work
same
on my
thing, let me
taxes
show
this
you.
weekend. I was like, I might be able to use this for my taxes.
Oh, that's awesome.
You absolutely can use this for your taxes.
So I had to have that question, Ann, and I forget what you answered me. When you have a quote and you have it a period that needs to go either as a
Mhm.
sentence, the period goes inside the quote at the end of the sentence. Is that true?
Well, Peg, yes, unless you have a citation. There are, so yes, but if you're including like, we want raises, said Peg Ross, then it would come after said Peg Ross. I mean, it kind of depends.
Okay, but that's.
But is this related to the personnel board? All right, well, I will take it up with you later since we're being recorded.
Just a question. Okay, so Kathy is going to present this to the finance committee with a recommendation for FY 26, and the amount will be divided between FY 26 and FY 27.
I'm gonna recommend that they consider the adjustment be 50% of the difference for FY 26, and that any remaining disparity be reassessed for FY 27, dependent upon the COLA at that time.
That's great.
Yes, and maybe add in another just a quick analysis, because heaven knows what might change. We may just want to look at them again across the board of those towns.
Okay.
Right, right.
I would use the term though, realignment.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you, Kathy, for doing that, and thank you,
Sure.
Melissa, for putting that across the screen. And Melissa, could you send that to all of us?
I will.
Uh,
I'm gonna double check the hours on the assessor clerk just to make sure her
Okay.
job description. Then I'll send it back.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so one thing, we're moving on then to the recycling coordinator. I've gotten a couple emails from Merrill. Really concerned about our recycling coordinator job description, getting that done and sending that off to the select board.
Mhm.
Because he, apparently well, the fellow that we have doing it, Sean, did a great job, but he needs to move on, and there's a lot of stuff happening down in Springfield with, contracts and stuff. So I would really like to, if we could go over that job description. Did everybody get the current one? I think I sent it on to you, the current and the former one.
Yeah, I already looked at them.
Okay. she is really good. So I went over it and I think she just pretty much reorganized things
Yeah.
for, essential duties and responsibilities. She changed that around a bit. Well, she explained to you, what she had done, and, um, does anybody see anything that they would change or that needs to be changed on that contract? The current one, which was 3/25, she just did it.
The only thing I would do is put revised and put the March date on there on the top header.
Okay,
And we're trying to get everything that's official with the town seal, so I can slap that on there for you.
okay, that would be great. And can you forward that? Does Kathy or Ann, do you have anything else you wanted, that you had concerns about? She's really pretty darn good at that stuff. So, all right, so Melissa, could you forward that to the select board?
Yep,
And,
I'll also forward it to you guys too, so you guys can have it.
okay,
And that
that
we
would
can
be
have it at
great.
least electronically in the email, so we can search and find it.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. Now,
The only
did you?
other thing I might do is bring the select board signature line up on that page so that we don't have a third page just kind of dangling.
Oh, yeah, if you can do that.
Yeah.
Well,
We can figure that out.
can you? Okay, that sounds good. Well, there, yeah, that would have to go, that all fits on page 2?
Yeah,
So-
we can get it to fit page 2.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll email Marilyn and tell her that we're gonna forward it to the select board.
Do you want to take a vote to forward it, to recommend it to the select board?
Okay, recommendation that we accept the new, job description for, the recycling coordinator, as of March 2025. All those in favor?
Brigham, I.
Ross, aye.
Kathy,
Well-
you're muted.
Oops, Joe's going around the kitchen. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Salvador, I.
I have those sometimes. The audience in the background is moving.
Okay, great. I will let Meryl know that. That's good because our recycling coordinator is really, it's a huge job and it's an important job. It really is. Okay, so what else? The emergency management director, which is apparently the fire chiefs.
So yes, it's in the fire chief's job description. So unfortunately, I went to write the whole thing out and then remembered we can't do too much in email because of open meeting law. So to explain a little bit, we at one point I remember holding in my hand a copy of an emergency management director job description. When Walter was here, we had merged it with the fire department, with the police, sorry, not police chief, the fire chief contract. However, the select board and when you look at many towns, the fire chief often is the emergency management director, but the two job descriptions live separately. In that if the chief did not want to, or someone else might want to be the emergency management director, you could have two positions, or you could appoint the chief to both. Right? Does that make sense? right? So it can live individually or it can live together. We
April,
also, oh,
April's about to join us.
okay,
Okay, sorry, Melissa.
that's okay. I can continue. Um, so that was part of putting when Gabe started and kind of pulling it apart. April, we're talking about the emergency management director job description. Oh, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
I'm at work and I just finished and it's like, oh my God, the meeting was at 5:30. Anyway, here I
Okay.
You missed the
Oh.
Excel lesson. But
Melissa.
It was really good,
we did
April.
an Excel lesson. It was fun.
But one thing I did find, can I just, went through all the job descriptions yesterday
Yeah.
Yes,
and
you told us
found,
that.
oh, wait a minute, and found that the most recent fire chief had job description has the emergency management written into it.
Yes, we were just
Directors.
talking about that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll shut up.
Oh,
then.
no.
No, go
You're
ahead.
the one that found it. But I was telling them many years ago, I remember seeing a copy of an emergency management director job description that wasn't tied to the police. Sorry, I always say police chief, fire chief. And so I was explaining that oftentimes the fire chief is your emergency management director. But many towns have the two descriptions in two separate descriptions. And what that allows is you can appoint the fire chief to both, right? They can have the two job descriptions. If a chief does not want to be the emergency management director, you have the option of having someone else be the emergency management director. Does that make sense? So one person can have the two, or you could have two separate people.
And the police chief in our town has traditionally been
The
the
deputy.
assistant, but we don't have a job description for that.
No, but we have
Oh.
to start with an emergency management director one so that we can make the deputy director. Right?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So I looked in my email, the depths of my email as far back as it went on the select board for 6 years. And then I went directly into the select board one that has everything since 2014 in it. And I couldn't find an attachment for the emergency management director. And the one person that I can just quickly text and ask is on vacation. So I quickly pulled out the emergency management director pieces and looked online for a general summary, and that's what I emailed you guys. This Unfortunately, we're going to kind of create a wheel, sort of, right? So we're just pulling it out. So that's what I sent to you guys. So it's mostly what was in the job description of the fire chief that was pulled out. Does that make sense? Is everybody following me?
It does.
So then once we get the emergency management director kind of set, we can then go on to do the deputy director because we don't have that job description. There's nothing that informs the emergency management director how to include or work with the deputy director or how to split if there's an emergency, those sort of things. So that's where we are.
Hmm.
Can somebody remind me, Melissa, I know you weren't here last time, but when Gabe was here last time, did she recommend something? Like, did she recommend either definitely folding it into one of those other positions or have it be standalone? April, you remember?
I think she said to stand it alone and then there's the opportunity to fold it in or not.
Right. You can add it in like in a contract. You can say you're the fire chief and the emergency management director.
Do we know at all how the fire chief feels about this? I mean, currently he's doing it. Is that true?
He is, and I don't believe we have any intention to take it away. It's just making the paperwork neater.
Yeah.
So that if he decides or the next chief decides, whatever the situation is, not to do it, rather than trying to figure out how to undo it at that point, it'll just be a smooth transition to bringing someone in, right? Otherwise it stays kind of the way it is now. you know.
And the
person.
deputy emergency management, does the police chief, does that copacetic with her to be the deputy?
She's
Do
the
we
one
know?
that's triggered us to write, she's the one that says, I don't know what I should be doing in that
Okay,
role.
Right.
okay.
It's mentioned in her job description. It's mentioned in her contract, I think. But there's nothing there that says
It's
this is
helpful.
what you should be doing in that role.
Okay.
Okay,
Which is what brought the conversation on, if we have them nice and neatly separated, we have the option of one person both doing both, two people. Same thing with the deputy director, right? It could be one person doing the chief of police and the deputy director, or it could be two people. So
and is there a separate, like, currently, is there a separate salary that's rolled into the fire chief's job description?
not separated out, although the former fire chief salary was increased because of the emergency management director attached.
Mm.
I guess we would figure out the pay scale, potentially. Or you just do the job description, and then at the point in which you need to hire someone, you do that piece to figure out how many hours a week it would be, separate from the salary of the chief, either chief. I think our important thing in the next few weeks is just the description. And then we can kind of figure out the salary from there.
Okay.
It's already tied into their salaries. So, I think the part is just the description and getting the roles figured out and then going from there.
So can we work off of this one that you,
Yeah, we can look, you can look at it. I can bring it up.
does everybody have that in front of them?
I cannot pull up I'm at work.
I'll share it. I'll share it. April.
Yeah, that would help because,
That's easier on the screen.
yeah.
Perfect. No big deal.
This position seems to me to be have some very specific and critical duties, and I don't think I'm capable of just looking at this job description and deciding whether or not it's adequate or appropriate. Is there a way to was that one of the things we were going to look for through that state portal that Gabe mentioned, is to see what other job descriptions look like? I just have no basis on which to.
It's a good one to do. What's the one nice thing is we have someone currently from MEMA, which is the Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's like FEMA, but MEMA.
Right.
And so they're working with us on updating our comprehensive emergency management plan, SEMP. And so they can also chime in here too with this. And but we want to get it started. And
Right.
then, the one thing that I'm not familiar with is the training or the ICS classes, which is the Incident Command Center classes. I went to one I'm on the emergency management team. I went to one in Leverett with the Leverett Fire Department. Eric and I both did. It was very enlightening, and that was just the ICS 100. That wasn't the more in-depth ones. It was very interesting.
But one thing, if we're looking at the emergency management directors that was pulled out of the fire chief's job description, Walter Tibbetts essentially wrote that piece.
He did, yes.
So
Yeah,
that
I was
gives us-
referring to the person that I could ask
Yes.
questions. This is currently not in town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna bounce some questions potentially off Walter if he was amenable to me asking some questions related.
so this will be a start. I mean, we've got.
This is just a rough draft
Right,
pulled out
right.
of the summary is what I found online, kind of as a summary of what an emergency management director would do. I think it somewhat fits for Shutesbury. And then the duties are exactly out of the job description from the fire chief, that section.
And so this is sort of as an aside, but part of when I was looking through you know, the closet in Gabe's office and found the job descriptions. They're all over the place in terms of formatting and when they were updated and all of that. And one of the, and we, maybe we can start with, as we develop new ones, is having a standard format for another standard, you know, update our standard format and use Brennan, who is the administrative assistant, is our person, can help. And all of that information that I found is in a filing cabinet and in his room.
Oh,
Maybe we can ask him to. Yes, I agree. We do have formatting of a lot of things that are kind of all creative ways of formatting. And we don't have the seal or the official look to a lot of what we have. So maybe he can also help us by digitizing these so that
Yeah.
we can,
Yes, that's what
Talked
I
about that.
absolutely, that's
at
part
the
of the
very
deal.
least, scan them if they're older. and
No,
we-
I think we need to digitize.
You know,
Right.
oh, yeah. But at least get them so we can.
Gabe talked about that he would have bandwidth to type them up if they
Right.
weren't.
Right.
He
Yeah.
may also have the he may or I can show him how to take a PDF if it's not too old and convert it to a Word document, and then you have to read through it to make sure the formatting came through okay. But
Yeah.
So if there are just a few, we don't have anyway.
Yeah. That's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Just to get them all kind of jumped into the 21st century.
Yes, what a thought.
So,
Have we looked at the, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
well, I'm just going to ask a question. It's not related to this job description, but Melissa, talking about converting things to Word documents, I was looking at the AI summary of our last meeting
yes.
for the minutes, and I edited them slightly so that we could use them
Yep.
as our minutes,
Yep.
Because it really does a great job with some tweaking.
Yep.
But what I couldn't do, and I don't know if it's related to our profile or what it's related to, I couldn't copy it or save it as a Word document and send it to anybody. I couldn't
No.
even just take that version and send it to anybody.
That's a
It
good
said
question.
it was an error message saying your plan does not allow this, sharing this with anyone.
I have highlighted it all and copied and pasted it into Word and then
Yeah.
adjusted it to make the formatting can come over. Sometimes it'll meet whatever formatting that's in the Word document, but you can copy and paste it and it'll bring it over.
You know, I wasn't even able to highlight it like I
Really?
normally would.
All
It was
right.
very strange. I was logged in as Peg
Yep.
and, you know, I did the editing.
Yep.
And like I normally would, you know, highlight everything to copy and paste it in another document. The Zoom system wouldn't even allow me to do that.
Okay, let
That's
me check in.
because it had my name on it. Somehow you logged in and it doesn't.
Well, but one of the choices was share it with you. So I said, well, okay,
Right.
that's who I want to share it with. So I'll pick that. And even doing that, even though I was logged in as you, it wouldn't allow it.
So you understand my frustration.
Yeah, I
Let
do.
me that's something I've only used AI a little.
Yeah.
Not in depth, more so just kind of glanced at it as, oh, this
Yeah.
is kind of a cool option. I want to say I did highlight something and copy and paste it.
Huh.
That could have been a transcript, not AI. So that could have been not something that's the same. Let me look
Yeah.
into that and I will find out how to do that. It may be something
Okay.
inside the meeting background, you know, the setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did such a great job with
does.
some, you know, some editing, but it would save all chairs a lot of time.
Yes.
It would. And anyone taking minutes, it would be great.
Yeah.
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 Okay, thanks.
Oh, there's Melissa.
Yeah.
Showed up.
I finished eating in between talking.
Wait.
So shall we go ahead? Let's go ahead here and see, just do a preliminary, want to do a?
Yeah, do a
preliminary look at
glance at and then we can go from there if you want.
Okay, okay. So, looking at the position summary,
Yep.
did anybody have a chance? I didn't, where it says highway, second sentence down, highway, comma, et cetera, that was sort of, let me see.
I was
don't-
listing on who they might be working with here. Thinking of the where I pulled this from, it had a lot of departments listed that we do not have.
Uh-huh,
Or we have one person in those departments.
Which-
So in an emergency they work primarily with, I put etc. because it could be the select board, it could be volunteers, it could be
TA.
TA. Yeah.
Mm.
so could we just could we leave that out and just put fire, police, highway, and all other town departments, or not?
Yeah.
Or do
I
we
mean, we
leave-
can do anything we want to it. It's
Right,
ours.
Yes, yes. There's power here.
Right. Okay, so Peg, you said fire, police, highway.
and all other town departments. I don't know if you need et cetera in there. It's sort of, to me,
No, I mean, we may not. Like I said,
Yeah.
it was rough and dirty.
I'll appreciate this, appreciate you doing that.
Like the Oxford comma.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will put that in. It's our signature.
Yeah.
And
Melissa, can you take out the paragraph, the markers? So that it's
So it looks better like this?
yeah, it's easier to read, I find. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
I always do it with those in there just because I format as I go, but
Yeah,
not needed.
yeah, you don't need with up there, works with. It just, you don't need two withs up in the second sentence.
that's it.
Oh,
Redundant.
Oh, yeah. Not for actual.
is it
And
big?
take out the extra comma after and. A little bit further over there.
This one?
Yeah,
Response. It should be response to actual disasters. But is that, the 4 is underlined? Should that be
That's not-
big?
it-
His grammar
It
doesn't like it.
It doesn't like it.
Mm.
I think that looks good.
Rest is good. Mhm.
Yeah. And so this all came out of.
This
from
is all
Walker.
right from, the bottom has a little bit of tweaking to it, but this is all right from, there's an extra space here. I can see it.
It's all from, where'd you say this came from, Melissa?
This was
Where-
right from the job description from the fire
Right,
department, fire
right.
chief.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, and this was essentially written by Walter Tibbetts,
uh,
who was always meticulously detailed.
Yeah,
oh, where it says governmental, one question I had was up here where number 1, develops local government emergency plans outlining what each governmental force and supporting group, governmental force.
That would be the shoots. So government, so what part of the incident command center is the emergency management director takes care of Shutesbury. They rely information to the next step up, who gives information to the next step up. So by local government emergency plans, whatever MEMA has for the region, they have them and they work with them. So government can be Shutesbury, government can be Massachusetts. It depends on the situation. There's a lot of flex.
Okay, so therefore, yeah, okay, that makes sense, as opposed to, I was trying to put in department or board, no, force is
It
appropriate.
is the government, the
Right,
level of it.
Gotcha.
hierarchy. Yeah.
Or what's left of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is it, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Peg. I don't know if agency would work instead of force. I don't know if that gets to the,
Well, we could put force/agency in here.
Yeah.
When it
let's
comes
do
around
that.
for the final
put that
thing.
in.
we can-
It
I
sort
like
of
that.
clarifies it. Cause I wanted to put department or board and I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out. Okay, force, agency and supporting group will be. And support group or supporting group?
Supporting group. So that would mean, let me think for a second. Well, that might mean when we had that storm of 2008, if we all remember, the National Guard came in
Yeah.
and helped.
Yep,
That would be
yep.
the supporting group. Yep. And there could be multiple ones.
So do we want to say supporting group or support group? Does it make any difference? Supporting group is better.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
more action.
okay, going down to 7.
I had a question before 7.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
Two.
Go ahead.
Number 3, are they also going to execute those training exercises? I mean, it's great that they've developed them, but are they also responsible for leading them?
Sometimes they bring in others to do that. We've done a couple of tabletops when Walter was here. We did a few tabletops, although that was in Greenfield. But so yeah, we could put executing or yeah, we can put executing on there.
Well, somewhere it just there needs to be something about like
Facilitate.
how people are trained. So maybe they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would facilitate be better?
But no.
Maybe at the end of the sentence, and execute as appropriate.
Yeah,
No, the end of
Oh,
3.
I'm sorry.
3.
It jumped.
it does. It's got a
Yeah.
mind of its own.
It's a touchpad. That's usually why I don't use them. I use a mouse. And you said, Kathy, and
Execute
as appropriate.
as necessary or as appropriate,
I
either
like
one.
it's appropriate.
Yeah. All right.
And I guess I have the same kind of question on number 2.
Okay.
They could develop the emergency shelter, but are they actually the person that would run it? You know, like
No, that's where you have your emergency management team. So, and you have your volunteers.
so would they direct it?
He's the director. So you'd have in that sort of case, you'd have him the director. He would assign someone to oversee the emergency shelter. That could be the deputy director. That could be some other delegate.
Yeah,
Board of
for
Health,
instance,
maybe, you know.
For instance, during the ice storm, there was a warming shelter at the town hall that David Dan, I don't know if I think he was a TA at that point, was there.
Mhm.
You know, they had a generator and and food and so, but that was at the direction of the fire chief, the director.
Yeah. Thank you, April. That's helpful. I just think that the developing means, okay, I'm going to put aside this room and I'm going to make sure there's a generator, but it doesn't, you'd also want them to direct the operation of them, right? I mean, even if it's to assign somebody to be there.
Does that come down further down in the
It
list?
might be. It might be that just she was saying that it reminded me it could be something down here.
Okay.
What about the emergency action plan, number 9, responsible for all emergency actions needed? Maybe not.
Doesn't say it. Okay. We can add that in there. See, develops emergency or the EOC.
I mean, I actually just pulled up a couple of other job descriptions online, and one of them uses the verb establishes. I wonder if it's more like establishes and
Yes.
directs an emergency, because develop seems a little.
I like established as well. That's good.
But it's either directing or assigning personnel, you know, and establishing the center
Right.
Right.
that, you know, it's either you know, this person is going to direct that shelter or, what did I just say? A
Yeah,
sign.
you said right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
maybe we.
Well,
could-
maybe you, what if you establish and manage it?
But not
No,
necessarily.
he would be, so the role of the director is to be in contact and relaying information up the chain
Yeah.
when he receives information from below the chain. So he can establish so the person that initiates the opening of an EOC is the emergency management director. He
Mhm.
opens it. The emergency management team is there to help manage it or
Mhm.
whatever assignment he gives us. um
Well, but that's the piece that I feel like is still missing. Sorry. It's just like, if
no.
there's an
Yeah.
emergency and April is on the team, how is she supposed to know that it's her
Yeah.
job to go up there? Someone has to tell her, right?
And
Yeah.
that's where the emergency management director.
Establishes
So-
and directs. Are we on?
I
two?
know. I think it needs to be something like directs, or it doesn't mean they're going to do it, but it means that somebody gives the orders, because
Yep.
it seems
So
like
do
an
we wanna
important. So it's establishes and directs. I think it's
Yeah,
two,
both and directs.
Okay, that works, I think.
Yeah.
or oversees. But it needs to be something that makes it clear that.
Maybe the overseas,
Like
because again,
overseas.
it's like, the TA was directing the center.
Okay.
Yeah, right. David Dan was there, and if he had issue, he would give that up to probably Walter, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
And
Thank you.
that led to David Dan's retirement. I have to
Oh
say.
no!
Soon after that.
Oh,
That was a lot.
I remember that storm.
huge.
Yeah, it led to a lot of people having
That's
like,
an
Yeah.
adventure. That was truly an adventure. What, 7 days, 8 days? It was,
Lady Slipper Lane was 9.
uh,
It was amazing.
it really was. It
This
really
is a thankless job for whoever's job it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Serving on the emergency management team, though, I have to say, is really interesting.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always
It
have the
kind of
sense,
hit the thing for me.
I think people in the field really love this,
do.
and
Mhm.
well trained at it.
Yeah, they're good at it.
And
So,
it's a challenge, it's a puzzle, it's a
Yep.
challenge.
mhm.
It's, I can see, Melissa, I can see why you really,
Yeah.
really groove on that. Okay, moving along. Number 3.
Number 3, develops training exercises, activities for municipal employees for a wide variety of potential emergencies, disasters, and executes as appropriate.
Yeah, add an S.
Executes.
hopefully the plans and not the employees.
Right.
For the
We
activity.
have to specify that.
Well, it depends on the disaster and
No.
Maybe add plans just for those
It's training, I
literal
guess.
people.
it's one way to minimize the disaster.
Okay,
Uh.
moving on, number 4. I can see all this in the AI.
Okay, that's fine. See, it shows we have fun.
Yes.
We laugh.
Suppose we have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now I'm going back to number 4. No, I agree with you totally, Kathy, and everybody else.
Mhm.
Anything 4?
Represents the town on the Franklin County Regional Emergency Planning Committee.
The yeah.
That's
5?
good.
Okay, are we, yeah,
That's kind of, that's very specific.
right,
That prepares and administers grants related to the emergency preparedness management,
preparedness management, so.
or EMPG. Ensures proper level of ICS training. We probably should spell that out
Yes.
for the applicable town employees, and maintains records of training.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't center.
I
Command.
Station.
service.
Incident command system.
Thank you.
And Melissa, one of the things you said earlier is that you just need somebody to check and see if there are other like trainings or to make sure this is up to date.
Yeah,
with
I'll
other-
I'll email Sean from MEMA and ask him if he has just a list of
Okay,
what should be included. Yep.
okay, great, thank you.
Some of them overlap too with fire a little bit too, so but we should list them out if it's a two separate job descriptions. I think you have to have, I know you have to have ICS 400 or 700 as part of this. The chair's emergency management team meetings monthly. I was gonna change that to or as needed because if you're in a situation where weather is coming through quickly, you might.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
Sounds,
good idea.
sounds good. You want to put a period after director?
That's a great idea.
And you want to take the comma out after, in 7 after meetings,
Where?
or put a
Oh, you're up.
hyphen, maybe?
Okay.
Because it's
Or,
No,
yeah,
no, not a
or say on a monthly basis.
Oh, check and,
The comma was fine.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
okay.
We need
It's
each
gotten dark
other.
and I can't
Thank
see
you.
anymore.
Wait,
Give me a
what's going
second.
on? It's like,
Okay,
wait,
what?
you lost your
Oh,
S.
I lost my S. I can't see. I can't get the keyboard. I didn't spend the extra to get the keyboard that illuminates. I thought that was, we don't need those things. Okay, so works closely in close contact and coordination with the emergency management director.
Yeah,
Uh, then oversees the annual
Very specific.
review and update. So this is sometimes the team sometimes goes through these things and updates them as a group, similar to what we're doing now, where people just take sections and go through.
mhm.
I feel like there's a space. Oh, that's what it needs to do.
That all looks good to me.
That does? Okay.
Mhm.
Just the formatting's a little off, but
Yeah,
I,
we'll catch that up.
Yeah,
There really isn't any supervisory skills. They're kind of all listed above.
yeah.
It's more directing than supervising.
A couple other things that I have one pulled up for Sterling, Mass. That they have, and again, this could be something we run by people, is directing a public I'll just read the whole thing and we can decide. It's the idea, not necessarily the wording. Directs a public information program to keep all residents of the local jurisdiction informed about EMA activities, provides periodic written update of major activities, including news articles for the local paper. But I do wonder if there's something about, communication with residents.
So yes, so what you don't see here is your emergency management team. We have a public information officer that sits on our
Oh,
emergency management team that handles that specifically at the
wow,
direction of the director.
wow,
Yep, we have
fascinating.
a ham radio operator.
oh, that's good.
The information, the public information officer, or PIO. We have a board of health representative. The 3 select board members. TA Leslie Bracebridge is the secretary, and of course Lenny is the director, the deputy director, and there's one more person. And I don't remember what group they're from, but they sit on there as well. So,
What is that group? What is the name of
oh,
that?
the principal's on there. School
Oh.
Oh,
principal.
yeah.
What is the name of that group, Melissa?
Emergency management team.
Okay.
So when if Lenny or whoever the chief is or the director establishes it's the time for the EOC, the Emergency Command Center, we go there, or whoever's in town or can get there goes there, and then we start to work as a whole. Not everyone will need to be there for every emergency, but it's determined based on what it is. A lot of that came out of that ice storm. There was
Oh,
something that had
yeah.
Yeah.
started, and then that pushed into having a more in-depth team where we could handle, lights are out. People might have a ham radio that they can hear. Um, that's how you can get messages to the other agencies too, other state and local agencies.
Portable generators. Our neighbors came around with portable generators from house to house. We each had a 2-hour assignment. Paul,
wow,
yeah, Paul Vlash and
Yeah.
Patrick.
that sounds like Paul Vlach.
Yeah, it was Paul. He signed us all up, and then we asked our neighbors from another part of town if they needed a shower, come to our house between 12 and 2. It was great. It was wonderful. It was great. But so are there portable town generators, just out of
There's a
curiosity?
lot of there. I don't believe there's portable town generators. There's a lot of equipment
Yeah.
that has been
portable
purchased through
generator.
grant systems. There's,
Ah,
cots to set up the school or the town hall as emergency warming center, emergency center, shelter. There's equipment related to all of that.
wow.
So there's a lot we have accumulated,
And
including like equipment for people to volunteer. So vests for people to wear if they're, helping out with traffic around trees, or, there's some hard hats, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that we have
Is the
collected.
equipment, is it mostly at the fire department?
It's in there's a one of those shipping containers out back, and it has a lot of it in there. It's some in the fire station,
okay.
but a lot of it's in there. Yep. Yep. We have the radio systems we have now. We're part of the emergency management grant, and the repeaters we have around town too. So we've caught up.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So are we back on 10? Do we just need to move that over?
Yeah, I'll take care of the formatting later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
Um,
So have we been through?
did we want? Anne had read something about the PIO. Did we want to add anything in there, or just let that be as
Yeah.
part of the team altogether?
Well, Melissa, I'm just curious, is there somewhere, wouldn't be a job, well, maybe, I don't know, couldn't there be a job description for a team? Like when you were saying that was the
Yes.
responsibility of the
Director.
team,
There
what
is an outline in the
Yeah.
comprehensive emergency management plan that outlines each person's role. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
not a paid position.
and I'm sorry, I already forgot, does this have on here somewhere that the director directs that team?
Yeah, it has the meetings. Let's see. I think. Oop.
Because I wonder if that is the supervisory duty, is that if they direct that team?
You have a good point. Just the meetings, I think. Emergency management team meetings. So we can put that under.
yeah, I think that makes sense. Under there, yeah.
It's bold. We don't need it bold. Would we say directs and directs and supervises members of the emergency management team.
Great.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good point, Melissa, and I mean, good point, Ann, and thanks
Yeah.
for adding that. Good point.
And sorry, the only other thing that's on here, this is really very helpful.
Don't say
Again,
so.
I'm learning so much in
The
this meeting. I'm
others.
so excited. In this job description, it has a lot about attending EMA training courses and workshops, attending local EMA directors meetings sponsored by the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, provides MEMA with reports. So is there anything in there about, you know, attending training courses and workshops and then also local meetings and?
It's a good question. Develops training.
Like, yeah, I mean,
And ensures proper training of the rest of us.
right.
Hmm.
It might be that the person that you were talking about, Melissa, what was the name of the group they're from?
Mima?
Yeah, that they might know, like, here's
Yeah,
what
I'm
they,
gonna put a
here's the
little
people
note
they should be
here.
in contact with and attending these local meetings and having those trainings. This is when I wish the chat was enabled in these meetings because I would paste this stuff into the chat.
Oh, that's right. I don't think you can afterwards.
No, I don't, I bet
Oh.
it.
Too much chatting going on the side, I think.
Yeah, is that what it is, April? I had
Well,
a
I think
feeling,
that's what happened initially. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. It's-
I thought it might be something about, you know, not having a record of it for the, I mean, you can have a record.
So I
And
just
then one
put
of,
a note here that, and I'll, you know, connect and with
okay,
him.
yeah,
what
local
he's
meetings. And then
required.
one other thing, and I can't remember if we have this on other job descriptions, but it says advises the finance committee of financial needs of the EMA and prepares the annual budget.
So our budget for emergency management falls under
Fire.
fire.
Okay.
And it's I think the one you're reading might have a specific department potentially, or office of emergency management.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So we have left ours as part of the reason the select board is there is to vote for funding or signing things or whatever
Okay.
happens to be in the emergency moment, and then it's all kind of mopped up after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what the wrap up is. The post. I don't want to say post traumatic. It's post.
The recovery.
Yeah, post recovery. Yeah, that's all wrapped up. That's where you'd have your FinCom would meet with probably with the select board and the EMT to kind of wrap all that stuff up.
Okay.
A lot of it is too, if it's like the one we had, you have the declaration from the town, region, and the governor state of emergency, and that opens up money federally. So then you have to figure all that out too. That's the paperwork part.
Hmm.
So the education part is I kind of left in some of the stuff that was there for the fire chief that
Mhm.
applied.
Yeah.
This particular, you know. So they should have, you know, some sort of at least a high school diploma, 5 years of some sort of first responder experience, police or fire, maybe some supervisory position where they, you know, have a role in supervising people, and they have to complete the 400. I thought it was 700, but the 400.
And do they need to have that training completed before they're hired?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not a hard training to do. A lot of it is it's really the incident command, so a lot of it's like the one I attended. It's a seminar slash workshop where you get the information, you get your binder, you're able to read through it, you take your test online. It's really just to know the functions of an ICS at the higher level, which is 400.
Okay. I wonder then if we could make it the line say completion of training to the level so it matches the grammatical phrasing of the previous ones. Does that work for everybody?
Mhm.
Oftentimes people have more there's it just keeps going up, as far as you want to go.
So just a couple of apostrophes in that section, associates.
Yep.
And years. At the end, I think, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Has a mind of its own.
There we go.
It's
Thank
the
you.
AI has taken over.
Right?
Yes.
That experience there.
Yeah, minimum of 2 years experience.
Oh, oops. Experience. Space.
Oh, if you do need apostrophes.
No,
I don't know. I keep looking at it, and every time I look at it, I think something different. I'm gonna ask my favorite friend at. Oh. AI overview is not available for this search.
I don't see where there should be minimum of 5 years experience.
You know what it says usually, and I bet we've done this other places, minimum 5 years of experience.
Ah.
oh,
I bet we've done that in other job descriptions.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah,
one.
and then you can delete those the other ofs
Which ones?
before 5 and before 2.
Oh,
So minimum 5 years of
years
experience,
of.
minimum 2 years of experience. I bet that's how we have them in other ones because that's
Yeah.
like a game. This of can can
yeah.
go forward 2 spaces.
The necessary knowledge category is interesting because I don't know that we have that on other job descriptions, but I feel like we have things like this that we
This was
Yeah.
on, yes, so this was on the fire chief.
Yeah.
The nest, you know, you do have to have, there is that statute in there too, the 527 PMR. The second bullet, I didn't know if that applied. I mean, obviously fire prevention doesn't necessarily need to be emergency management director. It is very specifically fire related, but I didn't know because I didn't read the MGL if there was anything in there that applied here. So I maybe should go read that.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to have that there. But again, this is Walter's writing.
Right. So I'll read through this to see if that is something we need.
I just wonder if the category necessary knowledge is not needed, and if we just make these parts of education experience and license requirements say
Sure.
thorough knowledge of radio, thorough knowledge of strong working knowledge of
yeah.
valid Massachusetts driver's license.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Do we want to get rid of the has?
Yep. Yep.
Isn't there usually a section KSA's knowledge, skills, and abilities kind of all together in job descriptions? I don't know. Going back to my,
That's something I have not heard.
You know,
Yeah.
but Kathy, oh, sorry, Melissa. I'm sorry.
No. That was just I was just saying I had not heard the use of KSA.
yeah,
I just think this is a great thing for Brennan to look at, you know, like how are we, what categories
send
are
him
we
to go
using
look
and
at the
can
MGL.
he make them consistent across job descriptions?
Yeah,
Mm.
when we're going to format them all.
Yeah,
I bet he'll pull out a lot that way, like just by going through them as he's
yeah.
digitizing or whatever we want to call it. There'll probably be a lot that jump out that are not. But you've got a great point, Ian.
Yeah, it's okay. And then Melissa, you can get rid of possesses too, and just start that one with valid.
Start with valid. Yep, sorry.
Possesses.
Skills and abilities, you know, just ability to work well with public.
Or able or ability. Able to work well with public, ability.
Mm.
What do you think, Ann?
Well, since abilities is in the title, I would just say work well with
yeah.
public, you know, but
Yeah.
We can do
Yes.
that.
we are going down a hole, people. Welcome to tonight's rabbit hole. Works well with public.
That's what was detailed.
I
don't
love
know.
it. The rabbit hole, yes.
I think the
Gets
second
people,
bullet,
I think the wording of this next one is not great. Gets
Um,
everybody to get, I mean, it needs,
People-
it needs a little finesse.
Yes, kumbaya, ability to sing kumbaya.
or in the
AKA
words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Mhm.
Exactly. Why can't we?
right.
Oh,
Uh,
we must be getting close to 7:30.
Yeah, I don't think that is even necessary. Isn't that implied?
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
it's a
just-
really weird.
Can't you say something about being a good team builder or just that or not?
Well, my ability to be a good leader.
Can you just say, work well with all members of the public?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, who are these people of different backgrounds?
I think
I
that
don't
would be specifically to fire, specific to fire, kind of that it ends in life-threatening situations. So, that may be specific to getting a group of people that have different training backgrounds, different physical ability. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I think it was more than just what we're seeing it as.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that
I-
makes sense.
yeah. But we can take that out and just all members of the public, I think sums it up for this particular.
Uh-huh.
And maybe, do we need to add something about even it and in life threatening
And,
situations?
and
Often in, yeah, I like that.
I think it wants a,
Potentially in, well, actually, that makes it look like the public is in life threatening limit. All members of the.
well,
Oh yeah,
yeah, we don't want
these are weird. I mean,
so if we take this one out, right,
Yes.
doesn't really change anything.
No,
Ready?
right, because you could have um strong team leadership or something.
Right.
Yeah, these are this is gonna make me crazy because
I
they're
know.
they're all
Could you,
Okay,
all
take
inconsistent with one another.
a deep breath.
I'll offer this one.
on the first bullet, something, instead of life-threatening, could you say something about stress? Even or
Stressful situations.
in stressful situations or something like that, as opposed to, I don't know.
Doesn't the third bullet sort of cover that in a simple way?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, that does. Okay, good. Reacts,
Yeah.
react quickly.
Be a good leader. I'm sorry, it's too weird. It's too like
Strong leadership skills.
that's what I was
Yes.
thinking, Kathy, but then it's and we're not starting with a verb.
Right.
No, I like what you're saying better.
about-
See, I think the verbs are bad. I mean, they're not bad, but I think
They don't work.
but I don't know that this is the time or place to.
I think it's just good, just the way it is.
Well, we
I-
could put strong leadership skills and works well with all members of the public.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Does that
I think-
does that work better, Anne?
I at this point, Melissa, I don't know.
How about,
Yes, thank you for indulging me. It's like,
No, I think that's too.
how about
frank- I
proven,
think that's too
proven strong
category.
leadership skills?
Proven what? I'm sorry.
Proven strong leadership skills?
Oh, adding a
not a
verb.
verb.
Or proven? No, you're looking for a verb.
Demonstrate.
Well, because but react quickly, work and react are both verbs. Command is going to be a verb. Make difficult. And then we have this strong mechanical, we have two strong leadership skills and strong mechanical background that, I mean, I
Mhm.
guess we could say
Well, it doesn't have to
possessive.
have this part does not have the person's going to be directing people. They're not going to be underneath a truck fixing it.
Well, we could
Right.
say possesses strong leadership skills.
Okay, we'll use the
People are okay
we'll
with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm going to spell it wrong. Possess.
no,
You
There's-
just want that R in there. Get rid of that R.
Make
I
it a
do love that R.
comma.
That rogue R. Oh, now I'm stuck in a circle.
One second
Okay.
there. I
Some
got-
of this I think is too
Yeah, there you go.
detailed. I think it's it I mean, work strong leadership. I mean, I think reacting quickly and calmly in an emergency is sort of implied throughout, isn't it?
Yes, I
I
agree.
don't think
with
we
you,
need
Carol.
that.
So if we take this guy out,
So you have, your verb either has to be works well or
Yep.
or it's got to be one or the other. You've got, with your first two bullets.
Well, you probably want singular, right? Because that's
Okay, possess,
person.
strong.
No, work. No, sorry, singular person. So works.
Works, okay, and then leave possesses.
Yep. Commands.
Hands with an S.
makes
Wait, commands, what was it?
commands and ICS training, including planning, directing personnel. That's actually one of the bullets that should be above, right? And there's a rogue little comma there too.
You want an N in there after A. Commands and.
But doesn't it read more like a task or a skill for up above than it does for just an ability and a skill?
Well, these I haven't. I mean, I guess working well with the public is a skill, but these all read like abilities to me.
But we can take out skills and put abilities.
I don't know. Kathy, you're the HR expert.
Well, you got skills in the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Works
That's
is an
great.
ability.
Well, if we wanted, shouldn't we have abilities before skills because A's come before S's?
Unless we do KSA. And it is, right, Kathy? Skills.
That's right. Knowledge, skills, and abilities.
We could, we could do that. And what was the top one up here? Oh, there wasn't one. Okay, we could put knowledge, skills, and abilities.
That was always a category in our job descriptions. It was a thing. I don't know if it was in the 90s that it became.
Well,
But
again, it seems
is
like one of
one.
those things Brendan he can look at.
Mm.
Now
This
that I
is
know his
not,
name.
this is not the level of detail we usually put in a job description.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it came out of the one that was written for very specific, so.
exactly. This is Walter was detail.
Yeah. Or,
Um,
yeah.
Well, April, I think that's a really good point because I'm not sure it's worth it for us to spend time doing sentence level editing, right?
This is implied.
This part is, yeah.
Yeah.
So next bullet is makes difficult decisions, make.
Mix, it would be mix, but we don't have
that's
anything
implied,
like this
I
in
think-
any other job descriptions. We don't have
No.
these
Well, I'm
kinds of.
following April a little bit. I think that's implied by the whole top. I mean, you're the
Yeah.
director
Mhm.
of emergency management. You're making quick decisions on your feet.
Exactly.
You're wrangling people into different categories.
Right.
I think that is all implied.
Yeah,
With the
you're-
direct
yeah.
word of
You're
that.
herding cats as needed.
Or
And
true.
again, this is just particular, this is Walter's detail and we didn't edit it out. I think we were tired.
But if this level of detail doesn't appear in other job descriptions, then it probably
I
should
don't-
appear in this one.
And
I
it
would-
might apply to a fire department one because of some of this more specific parts of their job. But we can blow it away here. I don't think we need it in the
No,
in
let's
this
throw it
level.
away.
Okay. Delete. Makes it shorter, less formatting.
Yes, strong mechanical background.
Like I said, they're not going to be under fixing the fire truck. They're going to be telling where the fire truck to go.
Right.
Do they need to be able to fix it?
No,
So I thought, April, you were arguing for getting rid of the whole category.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
support that.
I am.
Okay, we can toss it.
Okay,
We can toss it. Nope.
Sorry, Walter.
gone.
No.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Physical
Okay.
plants are probably something we should list just out of,
Yes, I think
risk
so.
assessment, risk management.
And we do have this in other job
This
descriptions.
is, yeah, the only thing here that's a little different is the fact that it goes up to 100 pounds because some of the equipment is heavy.
I don't think I could do this. I
Do they
can't
have
lift 100
mechanical,
pounds.
That's why there's a director and a team.
Wow.
do they have mechanical aids to lift whatever they're lifting at 100 pounds? Or is that like human beings?
No, that they have, there's equipment like winches and things like that. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we need frequently lift.
Can
It's
lift,
like,
may lift.
it's
I
like
would
they're
think-
all barbed.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Or
better.
can, or I just tossed a word in there that wasn't often.
Yeah, that's better.
yeah, that looks standardish.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
definitely the sitting, standing,
Mm-hmm.
handling.
Right.
Nose to, fingers to nose.
That line gets me every time, but I guess that's standard in all the job
I
descriptions. So,
think it
What
is.
does?
What line, Kathy? What line?
the second line, use hands.
Fingers, handles, feel objects.
Oh, use hands to finger.
Oh, yeah, handles, yeah, hands to finger.
But I've seen it in other job descriptions, so we might as well be
Yeah,
consistent.
and that's in ours, other ones.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
a standard, like the repetitive motion for some.
Right.
If it's not there, then your risk management is a little off.
Mhm.
It does make me wonder about then eliminating differently abled people from doing the job or a job, right?
Well, there are accommodations too, right?
Reasonable, it says down at the last thing, that reasonable accommodations may be made to enable individuals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's sort of our,
Yeah,
like
okay, got it.
disclaimer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
that's standard
I
boiler.
knew where you were going
Mhm.
with that.
This is all
Yeah,
standard stuff, right?
yeah, this is good.
And then this is signature.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, I think this looks good.
Okay.
Did we get Merrill Mandel's job description?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, was that done earlier? Because she
Yeah.
was in a twist about it. She really wanted it done.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's been recommended to the select board.
All right. And I also, my task was to look at, we were going to be raising accountant, administrative assistant, assessor's clerk, assistant town clerk, treasurer, bringing their salaries up to
Yeah, we did it.
average.
We did it, April. We did it while you
April,
were
here, if you
gone.
have this, I'm gonna just refine it
Wait a
slightly.
minute, I didn't do it. I not.
I have a couple things. So, okay, April, you can look at that.
All right. Oh, good. That's it. That's what I have right here. All right.
You did it too?
No, I did it too.
Yours may be slightly more accurate for the number of hours that they were working. I checked a couple job descriptions quickly, and then of course the ones that I remember.
Yeah, I was looking at the PAFs.
Oh, good. You were looking at a better data source.
Yeah, so it didn't give the accountant or administrative assistant.
The
But
admin assistant, that
that's
one
32.
we had decided not to include because
It's her brand
they
new
were
job.
just hired and it's above this amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
April,
It does align a little bit higher than the green column on those. I think it's 25. I want to say it's 25.
and we recommended that the COLA go in first.
Yes.
What we did first.
Okay.
The COLA
Okay.
is here. This is the COLA, Shutesbury
Okay.
amount plus COLA.
Okay.
And then this was the difference after doing that. compared to the average without the high and low, so that middle green column.
Perfect.
We multiplied it how much it would be based on their hours per week, which is in the red next to the
This is what I was, this is awesome.
and then we did by year, and then our recommendation, because some of this is significant and it goes up to $20,000. And
Whoa.
and Kathy and Ann had, it's a bit much to do maybe in 1 year. So we ramp 50% the first year and then the
Perfect.
remainder of the second year.
And this does not include everybody's COLA raises, but this is just for these
This is the
positions.
realignment ones.
Right.
Remember the term we were using, the realignment.
Yes.
That's on top of the
People
COLA.
liked
And
it.
the 10,000 is closer to when we did this a number of years ago. That's about the number we landed on.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. And,
Okay,
and we'll be okay.
I just
I'll
quickly
send this to you, April, too. So I'm gonna just
Thank you. Send it out. Yeah.
going to.
And I can't believe I hear it work saying, well, I'll stay here till 6:30.
well, you are there until 6:30 at 7:30.
But I also, I was, yeah, anyway, I had a client until 6, so I don't know what I was thinking anyway.
Well, this is an unusual night, April, so for us to.
Yes, and I, yes,
Okay, ladies. We
this
have-
is awesome.
We have a couple minutes left. Yeah, and Melissa's going to forward that to
Yep,
you.
I'll forward both of them, but everything to
Now,
everybody.
here's what I have scheduled already for April meeting on April 17th. Then I realized I can't make that date. Can the rest of you make that date, and could somebody run that meeting?
We'll take care of it.
I'm actually out then.
Then,
That's two.
Kathy and
We are 5. We could still meet, but maybe it's better to have a different meeting date. The town meeting discussion,
Yes.
the select board meeting, that the town meeting, not the election, the town meeting will be moved later in May because it coincides with vacation week
oh, okay.
for the school. So just to kind of toss that out. I believe
Yep.
we're checking to see if it's going to be May. Let me look.
31st?
31st. Yeah,
I think that's what you guys are saying.
it was. I just wanted to make sure.
They were
before-
such a sigh of
head.
relief. It's like, oh, phew.
Yeah, here's
So-
a few things like the FinCom a little longer and the whole town to know exactly what's going on, the state-wise, federally wise, and school-wise, so it gives
Right.
us a little more time.
And part of what the FinCom wants to do is have all the departments come in and meet with the FinCom and look at the budget sort of as a gestalt, the whole thing. As a way of just saying that we're all working on this together. No one department gets a hit.
Mm.
And we'll see how this flies. I know that George Arvanitis and Susie Mosier have been working on really some how do we, creative ways that we can close the deficit we have, because we've got excess levy capacity that can take care. But anyway, so I think we'll be okay. God willing.
No, okay. Well, do you want to meet April 17th? And I can't be here, but can Kathy, no, Ann says she can't be here. Melissa and April and Kathy, can you be here? Shall I leave it for the 17th?
I can, if you want to.
Yeah, we could do that. What is there, well, we don't know what's going to be pressing.
No.
So
That's-
as an option, if there's something pressing, right, is it, not sure what that might be,
Yeah, could we do the next week, the 24th?
24th or the week earlier, the 10th? Probably 24th is.
24th make more sense. I can't be there either. I'm out for a while there.
Oh, good.
So
And
Ann, can you meet the 24th?
I can make I think I can make, wait. Yeah, I think I can meet the 24th. This
I
is April.
can too.
Okay.
I can.
It's
You
like
can?
one time
Okay,
a week.
so I'll change it to the 24th then.
Putting it
Okay.
now.
And Melissa, will you run that and open it up and everything?
I think I could figure it out.
All right, I think you can.
I hope, yes.
I'm
Okay.
going down to, I'm gonna go talk with the lake boating safety committee. They want to start doing their meetings in a hybrid fashion, so they asked if I'd come and help that process.
I
Show them-
understand, I understand.
Yeah, to just show them how to kind of use the equipment so that they can have hybrid meetings. So
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to the 24th
okay,
Okay,
and,
5:30, 6:30. What time would we like?
yeah, whatever. 5:30 is fine.
5:30.
Good.
okay,
Yeah, then we don't have to go so late.
and
And it might be a short agenda. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe we have the draft of the employee handbook
Yep.
to look at. Maybe we can make it a single thing. I will that's my job to finish up this weekend. Gabe has been really helpful in that process because
Gabe,
we've
how
done-
long will Gabe be with us? Till the first week in April or till the end of March?
end of March. I can't speak for too much in April, but there may be a bit of a transition
Okay,
in April. Yeah.
okay.
It's,
And
it's up to her. She's helped us out so much. So,
Yeah, and she needs to get into her garden, apparently.
and yeah, back to retired life, which
I'll
is so
get
great for her.
And also, Meryl asked that the copy of the, Melissa, you're gonna send the copy
I'll
of.
send it on to her. Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
I
and what
remember
was,
I was going to put the seal on there and, make it look official
okay, and she asked for it to be, I can't recall, she asked for it to be sent to the select board and, do
herself.
you remember the other one? I'll
The
check,
recycling committee?
I'll check her email and then I'll forward that to you if you could go ahead and.
Yeah. I'll put the thing on it tonight and yeah.
Okay,
let me know who it
sounds
was.
good. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Oh.
So moved.
Second,
All those, okay? We're all set.
Yeah, Stein, I.
Make
Am I?
Salvador, I.
Aside.
I.
Okay,
Great job, guys. We did a good job tonight.
I have a
Okay.
little paperwork to do and then I'm done. Okay.
okay, we got a lot done tonight. Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
You guys
Bye.
rock. This is a great
Bye.
committee. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.